Hey, what's up guys, it's Banu here from Andro.com and this is the Xiaomi Redmi Note 7 that packs a 48 megapixel rear facing camera. Even though this device packs a 48 megapixel camera at the back, do you actually know how to make use of all the settings on this device to capture the best picture? So in this video, I'm going to guide you on how you can make use of the Redmi Note 7 camera, and I'm going to show you all the settings that are available, all the modes that are available, so that you are well educated about the smartphone that you have in your pocket. If you are excited for this video, definitely go ahead and smash that like button and hit on that subscribe button if you are new to my channel. Let's get started with today's video. Let me kick off the camera guide for the Redmi Note 7 first by showing you guys how you can actually launch the camera on the Redmi Note 7. So there are actually a few ways for you to do this. The first way is from the lock screen. So from the lock screen, if you want to launch the camera, all you have to do is just swipe left like this and the camera will quickly open up. Or else from the home screen, you can always use the camera button to open up the camera. If not, there is a third way that you can do and that is actually hidden inside the settings. So if you go and search for camera, there is an option that pops up called launch camera, that is under lock screen and password. So what this will actually do is, if you go ahead and enable this launch camera option, if you double tap the volume down button, it will easily launch the camera even when the screen is off. So now the screen is off, and now if I go ahead and double tap the volume down button, as you can see, the camera launches almost instantaneously and you can go ahead and capture any picture you want easily. So that's a convenient feature that you should definitely enable on your Redmi Note 7 to make the maximum out of your device. So now let's go into the camera and now let's start exploring all the settings of the Redmi Note 7 before we come into all the camera modes. So first off, I will go through all the top modes over here and then I will go into the settings area that is there. So the first button that we have is for the flashlight. So there are actually 4 options here. You can completely turn it off, you can put it on auto mode, or you can turn it on, or you can turn on the torch mode where the flashlight will be always on. Even in the preview mode, the torch will be on. So this will be a useful feature at night. Next up, we have the HDR mode. So here you can put it on auto mode or you can completely turn on HDR mode. So in HDR mode, the pictures will be captured in different exposures and the phone will match everything, put everything together and create the best best HDR picture from your Redmi Note 7. Next up, we have the AI mode. So this is the AI camera mode that is there on the Redmi Note 7. So if this will actually recognize scenes and apply various filters that are already preset for those scenes, and it will actually capture some nice pictures, especially if you're taking pictures of green light. So this is the difference. This is without AI mode and this is with AI mode, and as you can see, there is a clear difference between the two. The colors on this is so much richer, and if you can see, when I enable the AI mode over here, it actually recognizes that this is a plant. So the icon over here actually changes. So that's how you know that the AI effect is actually taking place. You can completely disable it if you don't like it, but I recommend you to turn it on. Next up, we have the filters. So these are the basic filters that you can apply to a picture in real time. So even before you capture a picture, you can easily apply. So let's say you want a black and white picture, you can go ahead and apply the black and white filter and then go ahead and snap the picture. Next up, we have a drawer with so many other options. So the first main thing is the settings, which has a lot of settings inside, which I'll come back to later. Next, we have the tilt shift mode, and this is similar to the tilt shift mode that we see on Instagram's camera. So basically, after you capture a picture, you can add in a circular blur or a parallel linear blur. So this is quite similar to that. So if you make use of this, you can get really blurred out pictures, so this suits this kind of scenario perfectly. So you can try it out on your Redmi Note 7 camera if you really want to try the tilt shift mode. Next up we have the straightening mode, and what this will basically do is it will show the most straightened version of the picture, and it will actually take the picture even when my hand is not actually straight. The camera will recognize what the most straight position is and go ahead and capture the picture accordingly. So let me show you this. So I didn't even position this picture in this way, but the camera was able to identify the right position and capture the picture. So next up we have the group selfie mode. So in this the camera will take multiple photos and then it will take a shot which includes everyone. So if you're trying to take a group selfie where there's more than like 3, 4, 5 people, then definitely the group selfie mode is for you. Next we have the beautify mode, and there is a beautify pro mode as well, so you can make use of that to enhance your skin colors and get rid of all the inconsistencies in the face. Finally we have the Google lens mode, and in the Google lens mode you can actually point your camera and you can do all sorts of things as shown here. So you can basically use it to recognize text and copy them, and you can use it to identify products, you can use it to identify plants and animals, and you can even use it to scan a QR code. So this is all built into the camera of the Redmi Note 7. Without much issue you can actually make use of that. Alright, so just to give you guys a quick demo of how this works. So if I want to recognize what this object is, or if someone wants to pick one of these up, so all I have to do is just go ahead and tap on it on Google Lens, and just like this it's able to recognize what this object is, and it's able to show me other results so that I can go ahead and pick it up. So that's pretty cool. Now let's directly dive into the settings area of the Redmi Note 7, and let's explore all the settings that are available on the Redmi Note 7. First off we have the save camera information option. So here what it will do is it will actually save all the location info in the image. So this will be handy for you to organize the pictures later on in the gallery, or even on Google Photos if you're using that. Next up we have the camera sounds. If you don't want the camera to make any sounds, you can disable it from this. If you disable it, all the camera sounds will go away. Next there is a pocket mode. So what this will do is it will lock the touch gestures when the device is in a pocket, so that it won't accidentally trigger various actions. So I highly recommend you to turn that on. Next up we have the save previous mode. So what this will basically do is if you enable this, and if you let's say you're in the video mode and you close out of the application, the camera application, and the next time when you open it up, the camera will open up in the video mode. However, if you go into this and just disable it, and the next time after you open it up, you will see that the camera is actually loading into the photo mode. So that's a good mode if you always capture videos or something other than photos from your camera. Then this is a setting that you need to turn on your device. Next, let's move on to the camera section of the settings. So here the first option that we have is add timestamp on the photos. So what this will basically do is it will add what date it was captured in. So for an example, this is what the timestamp looks like. And in the next option we have the shot on Redmi Note 7 Me dual camera. So both of these options are the first two settings that are available under the camera mode, that is this dual camera watermark option. The next option we have is show grid lines. So you can make use of this to perfectly align your picture before you capture it. If you like to make sure that the picture is exactly the way you want and follow the rule of thirds, you can make use of the grid lines. And the next option that we have is focus and shoot. So what this will basically do is if you just go ahead and tap on an object, it will basically go ahead and not only focus, but after that if you go ahead and press on it again, it will go ahead and capture the picture. So that's pretty easy, because you don't have to focus over here and then go ahead and press the shutter button over here. Next up, we have the scan QR codes option. So basically, if you want to scan QR codes right from the camera without opening Google Lens, you can enable this option, and the next time when you hold up any QR code, it will be able to scan it using that. There is another option for you to save original photos on the Redmi Note 7 as well. So if you apply various filters or whatever when you try to take a picture, if you enable this option, it will capture another separate picture that is the original picture without any of those enhancements. Next, we have press and hold shutter button. So using the shutter button, you can take burst shots or you can either focus. So if you press and hold this right now, it will actually go ahead and focus, and then if you release, it will capture the picture. Or else you can enable it to just go ahead and take burst pictures like this. So just like that, it shot 20 pictures. Next, we have the mirroring of the front camera on the Redmi Note 7. So if you don't like that, you can go ahead and turn it off. This is what a picture that is mirrored looks like, and a picture that is not mirrored looks like. The next option we have is the camera frame. So the default option is 4:3, but you can also go ahead and enable 16:9. So if you enable 16:9, earlier for 4:3 this part was also black, but for 16:9 even that part has come in now. So if you like 16:9 pictures, you can enable that. Next, we have the picture quality. So you can set it to high, standard or low. I highly recommend you to set it at high. And also we have the fingerprint shutter button. So now the Redmi Note 7's fingerprint scanner is at the back. So if you want to capture a picture, all you have to do is just go ahead and tap on the fingerprint. So I'm just tapping on the fingerprint and the picture is getting captured just like that. So that's pretty convenient for you to make use of. If you want, you can enable that option from the settings. Next up, we have the volume buttons function, and there are actually 4 functions here. The first one is shutter, then there's shutter countdown, zoom or volume. This is actually by default set to shutter countdown, and what that will do is, if you want to take a picture like this and if you just press the volume down button, it will give a small countdown before it actually takes a picture. So if you have this set in a tripod or something, that will be really useful. So you can adjust that setting according to what you want. And then we have the anti-banding option, so you can turn it off, or you can set it at 50 Hz or 60 Hz, or you can put it on auto mode. Or next, we have the auto exposure settings, we have the frame average, the center weighted or spot metering. So you have the flexibility to go ahead and pick whichever one you want. And next, we have the contrast, where you can set the contrast to be low, normal, high, or you can adjust it according to the level that you want it to be. And even saturation, you can set it the way you want, and even sharpness, you can set it the way you want. And finally, we have the privacy policy, and at the bottom we have an option to restore all the camera settings to the default options. Let's say you think you have messed up a setting somewhere and you don't know how to fix it, then definitely this is the option that you should take for that. So that's about it for the camera settings of the Redmi Note 7. Now let's go ahead and explore the main camera modes that are available on the Redmi Note 7. So before that, let me show you these buttons at the bottom as well. So first option here is to access the gallery, and from here, from the middle button, you can actually shoot a picture, and from this button you can actually go ahead and flip the camera like that. So from the gallery, before we come into the modes, let me show you a few things that you can actually do. So from the bottom, you can directly share the picture as well, and then the second button will actually let you edit the picture, apply filters, stickers, or it will even help you add doodles or do add text or do whatever you want to the picture. And with the next one, you can actually favorite a picture. It will create a new album called favorites and add all these pictures. From the next one, you can delete the picture if you don't like it. And then there is a 3-dot menu where you can set the picture as the wallpaper. You can cast it to a compatible device, or you can add it to a certain album, or you can start a slideshow with it. So those are the options that are available in when you preview a picture on the Redmi Note 7. So now that we are done with all of that, let's directly talk about all the camera modes available on the Redmi Note 7, and I will give you camera samples and video samples for each mode immediately after I talk about it. So first off, the first camera mode that we have on the Redmi Note 7 is the short video mode. So this is basically just like the name suggests, a short video. So this is great for Instagram. So the countdown is also fitting perfectly for Instagram. So if you want to capture Instagram videos from your device directly without using the Instagram camera, you can do that using this short video option that is shown here on the Redmi Note 7. So here's a short video camera sample from the Redmi Note 7. What's interesting with the short video mode is you can actually go ahead and even apply various filters before you actually shoot the video. So that's pretty cool for Instagram. If you want to do that, you can do that. So here's a short video camera sample from the Redmi Note 7. Next we have the main video mode. So basically this is the video mode that is self-explanatory. So when you actually go ahead and hit on this three dot menu over here, you actually have access to a time-lapse mode as well as a slow motion mode on the Redmi Note 7. So first off, let's have a look at what a slow motion video looks like. This is a time-lapse video shot with the Redmi Note 7. From the video mode, if you go into the settings over here, you will actually find the video settings over here. Initially, last time when I actually showed you the settings, you guys didn't actually see the video settings. That is because you only see the video settings when you're in the video mode. So the image stabilization option is there for video mode, and there's video quality, there's option for video quality. So the Redmi Note 7 is able to shoot at a maximum of full HD at 60 frames per second, and the video encoder options of H.264 and H.265 is available. I recommend you to use H.265 because it takes up lesser storage, but be aware because that is not compatible with all types of devices. Next we have the video HFR option. So here you can set it to 720p or you can set it to 1080p. So this is basically the resolution for the slow motion videos. And next we have the time lapse interval as well. So you can go ahead and adjust how much of a time lapse you want. So those are all the video settings on the Redmi Note 7, and here's a video camera sample from the Redmi Note 7. Next we have the basic photo mode on the Redmi Note 7. So here are some camera samples from the Redmi Note 7. Next we have the portrait mode on the Redmi Note 7, and in the portrait mode you have the option for the AI mode as well as setting filters over here. And in the portrait mode you can take cool looking portrait pictures from the Redmi Note 7. And here are some camera samples of the portrait mode from the Redmi Note 7. Next we have the night mode, and you can make use of the night mode to actually capture pictures at night. However, in the night mode you have to hold your phone still and just hold it for a bit so that the picture will be captured. So definitely give it a shot at night with the Redmi Note 7 on the night mode, and here's a camera sample of that. Next up on the Redmi Note 7 we have the square mode. So basically this is the mini version of the photo mode, specifically made for Instagram, we can say, for square pictures. So if you like taking square pictures, you can make use of this mode. Next up we have the panorama mode, and I think everyone knows what a panorama is. So here's a camera sample of a panorama from the Redmi Note 7. Finally, we have the Pro mode that is built right into the Redmi Note 7's camera, and here up top we have the resolution setting. So first off, you can actually enable the 48 megapixel camera manually from here, and you can adjust the white balance, you can adjust the focus, you can adjust the shutter speed, and you can even adjust the ISO directly from the camera of the Redmi Note 7 without actually making use of any other third-party application. So if you spend a little bit of time in this mode, you can capture some amazing pictures on the Redmi Note 7. Lastly, let me move into the selfie mode, and this is what the selfie mode looks like on the Redmi Note 7. And at the bottom over here there is a beautification mode, so you can adjust how much of a beauty level you want here. And there is even an advanced mode where you can adjust your face, you can trim your eyes, you can make your eyes smaller, or you can adjust the tone, or you can make your face smooth, or you can adjust all of that here on the Redmi Note 7. So definitely go ahead and check it out. And there is also an option to completely disable the beauty mode. If you don't like that, you can make use of this option right here to do that. So finally, here are some selfie camera samples from the Redmi Note 7 camera. I've also made a tips video featuring the Redmi Note 7 that you can also find on my channel right now, and you can definitely go ahead and check out my unboxing and review of the Redmi Note 7 also in my channel. Definitely go ahead and find the link for all of that down below in the description. Well guys, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys found it useful. If you did, definitely go ahead and smash that like button and hit on that subscribe button right now for more awesome tech videos just like this in the future. Definitely go ahead and check out my coverage of the Redmi Note 7 right here on Andro Dollar, and follow me on social media. I am at Andro Dollar. All the links are given down below in the description, and stay tuned to androdollar.com for all the latest from the tech world. Let me know if there are any other video suggestions featuring the Redmi Note 7, and until I see you guys in my next video, this is Banu signing out.